Thank you for your confirmation. So let me quickly introduce myself, and from there we can get started with our first session on Selenium. So first of all, guys, I am Vikas. I am having almost 12 plus years of experience into QA, which includes both manual as well as automation testing. I have been working mostly with all the domains so far, whatever you can consider like banking, e-commerce, uh, all sort of testing. So I started, I mean, all right now I'm working as a QA lead kind of position, and currently I am, you can say, full-time QA functional automation tester, as well as I have some expertise into performance as well as security testing. Other than that, we will be quickly, you can say, starting with our this session, wherein we will be purely focusing on manual plus automation. So I'll start with a kind of manual testing. Right after that, we'll jump to one of the coding language, which will be mostly Java, because we'll cover Java from like scratch till the core Java concept, whatever is required and mandatory for you guys to understand what is automation all about. And after that, we'll consider one of the tool, which is obviously Selenium, since it's an open source. And from there, we will go with some like frameworks, which are obviously very important topics. With respect to frameworks, we might cover few of the frameworks which might be on BDD page object. So we will discuss about those topics later on. So coming to today's session is mostly focused on like limited topics. I'm not going to cover vast, huge, like most of the topics. I'll cover some of the basic importance topics with respect to manual plus automation journey. So first of all, we will keep this session kind of interactive session. I would request everyone to please speak up if you have any concern, any queries. Please feel free to interrupt me. I am more than happy. Please feel free to have a discussion amongst us. I would say, if you are, I'm let's say going somewhere wrong, or I'm not, like if I'm let's say having some issues, you can please uh, unmute yourself and right away say that, hey, this is not the way. We need to have this logic or something like that. You can interrupt me in between anytime if you feel so. And if let's say if you're not asking questions in, let's say, during the session, I would request everyone to please drop this thing over the uh, chat window. You can just drop a, you can say, your doubts or queries, whatever you will be having with respect to any of the topics which we will be covering today. Okay. So so just to start with, we will have a brief introductions on, I would say, software testing. Before that, anybody has anything to speak about, or anything to, let's say, you want to highlight something before I start? Anyone? You can unmute and speak up, guys.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. You are audible.
Okay. So, can you walk?
Can you repeat, please? Uh, I think we are not able to hear you. You can drop your this thing on the chat window. Just a second. My voice is audible, guys. Okay, I would request everyone to be on mute, please. Okay. I think it is clear. So you can drop your queries in the chat window, guys. We will discuss at the end of the session. Okay, like last 15 minutes we will keep for question and answer. Yeah, I'll discuss about the syllabus also. Sure. Yeah, Nilesh. Okay. So first of all, we will be talking about. I'll give you brief introduction how we are gonna go about, right? So in that we will talk about the syllabus as well. Okay. So don't skip that part. So first of all, guys, please help me if you didn't understood any of the topic. So what is software testing, why software testing is required, what are the advantage of software testing, and how we are gonna do like how we can skip the manual intervention and how we can switch to automation. Okay, so first of all, software testing is mostly in today's world will be responsible for like finding defect, finding issues, finding bugs, right? So all has the same meaning for us, and we need to make better application. So that's the whole motto or whole reason why we are doing the software testing. So whichever application, it can be web application, it can be desktop based application, it can be mobile app, Android, iOS. So for all the like web applications and any of the applications which is obviously having some interventions with respect to users, we will be obviously performing the software testing. So our main aim for software testing would be to make sure that the application, the end user, whoever is using that particular application, the usability should be very high. So usability as in like whoever is using that particular application should be able to use that application without any defect, issues, flows, any of the circumstances. Okay, so like why software testing? So you must be aware about SDLC lifecycle. We will talk about that later on, not today. So in software testing lifecycle, this is a cycle which we follow usually, in which we go with all the phases one by one, and at the end we get to into like testing phase, right? So in that we come up with like our strategies, our plans, our like what will be the use cases, what will be the diagram. All those discussions happens in that STLC whole life cycle. Okay, so that is nothing but STLC, software testing life cycle. It is a part of SDLC because first the highest priority is like first we'll give the preference to SDLC. After that we will go to SDLC, because SDLC is like complete software development lifecycle. Out of that, one of the phase is testing, in which we have software testing lifecycle, right? So we will be discussing our whole testing strategies and everything in SDLC, which is testing lifecycle. We will be discussing more into this, what are the stages and everything later on. But right now, what is software testing? So we will consider one of the demo application. Okay, so one of the demo application, just for you to understand, or you need to answer me what all things you will consider whenever we are working on that particular application. Okay, so I would request everyone to please unmute and speak up. What all things you will consider whenever you will try to validate the uh, you can say application which I am trying to showcase right now. Okay, so we'll consider one of the application which is called as Airbnb. I hope everybody might have used. uh, so what are the use cases, or what are the biggest flaws, or you can consider whenever you are using any of the website like Airbnb? At high level, you can just let me know what all things you can consider whenever we are doing software testing for this particular website. So let me open in incognito. Yes, everybody can see, right? Okay. So I want you guys to tell me what all things you will consider whenever we will be, let's say I give you this particular website, and let's say if I ask you to validate. to test this, what all things you can consider. You can unmute and speak up, guys. This is kind of production website, right? So you must have some thought process, like, right, how to validate, how to check those, right? So you can just unmute and speak up.
Yes, because so first we verify the URL that it is
Mm-hmm.
working
Perfect.
fine or not.
Right.
Yeah, yes. And then the lookout of the this front screen, the view we
Mm-hmm.
have.
The
Like
look
if
and
I'm
feel.
talking about the
Mm-hmm. Okay.
means yeah, if I'm talking about the cosmetic things like how this screen visible or appear to the user, it is in a
Mm-hmm.
correct way or not, like this.
Mm-hmm.
Then we check the login thing, like anyone
Mm-hmm.
can register or sign in to the website or not, like this. We can proceed.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else wants to add anything?
You can search like the check-in dates, check-out dates, where the calendar pop-up is coming correctly, the search buttons, the filter buttons, all of those buttons, we can verify if everything is working correctly.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. uh,
For invalid logins, and then when we actually load each of these pages, the images are loading correctly,
mm-hmm.
things like that. We can verify all of those as well.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay, so guys, whatever point you all mentioned are absolutely correct, right? So when it comes to manual kind of, you can say manual testing, whatever points you told, we usually include those in our manual test cases. Okay, so wherein we mention each and every module sections, and after that we try to bifurcate our and the count of the test case will be huge, obviously, because this is a huge, you can say, website. So I want to just give you at high level, whatever you said is correct. Okay, so we validate all the functionalities, all the, you can say, whatever look and feel, the menu sections and all those things, right? But whatever you told is completely kind of, you can say, manual stuff, right? So when I say manual stuff, basically you need to each time load this particular URL, go to this particular section, enter the destination, check in, check out, add the guest, and click on search. So whatever steps I told just now, one use case wherein you are entering destination, check-in date, check-out date, and guest, right? So beside, like whenever you perform this activity, there are lot of actions which are happening in the backend. Okay, so I'll speak about that later on. So let's say, let us give one quick example. Let me search for Bangalore. Okay, I'll quickly search for Bangalore, and I'll have a date of 20, and then checkout date of 22, and let's say number of guests I'm keeping as at, let's say, 3. Okay, so I loaded this website, I entered the destination, check in, check out, and I have entered the number of user and clicked on just search. Correct. So as soon as you do this activity, you see that we are having a lot of result which is getting populated, and with that we are having the maps also. Okay, so now this is something which is like kind of manually you are doing the whole process, right? Wherein you are trying to check each and every, but ideally, to validate whether the, like you can say, the result is correct or not, yeah, manually it is perfect, you will be able to validate. Okay, now whatever things we just did one use case, right? This needs to be validated for almost like number of cities in India, number of, let's say, cities like obviously all over the world. You need to have different permutation and combination for date selection, you need to have different permutation and combination for adult, children, infant, pets, right? So all this will come into, you can say, testing, right? So ideally, whenever we do this activity manually, right, it will take, you can say, a lot of time in terms of making 100% coverage. Okay, so guys, what is coverage? Coverage means nothing but you are trying to make sure that whatever testing you have done, okay, it is including all the cities, all the dates, all the logics of adult, children's, infant, and pets. You are 100% sure that it is done with the 100% coverage. Okay, when I say test coverage, it ideally means that you are already including 100%, all the test cases are working fine, and you have covered almost all the test scenarios which is applicable for this use case, whichever, like whatever I told just now. Okay, but just give a thought. So the whole process will take a lot of time, guys. Okay, when I tell you to please validate with all the dates and all the use cases for this particular scenario manually, it will take a lot of time. Okay, so that's where this is a kind of web application, right? This is a web application. So that's where we come up with a, you can say, a tool which is nothing but a kind of uh, automation tool. Okay, we have various automation tool, but right now we will be fully focused on one open source tool called as Selenium. Okay, you might have all the visibility, all the, you can say, history about Selenium, like when it was introduced, what are the advantage, how can we you can say use for the web application, how can we use for the desktop application, all will be covered under this. Okay, so what is Selenium, guys? Selenium is an open source tool which is mostly used for functional automation testing, guys. Okay, so what do you mean by functional automation tool, guys? Yes, anyone? Functional automation tool. We always refer this as functional tool, functional automation tool. Anybody wants to add something? What is functional automation tool? So guys, whatever functionality you guys were talking about, such as filtration, you were talking about, let's say, pagination. Okay, filtration, pagination, login, sign up, then navigating to social networking sites. Okay, then navigating to like product, you can say property detail page, right? Whichever property you are interested in, and you are going to, let's say, one step ahead, right? So those all things will be covered under the functional automation. Okay, so when I say functional automation, whatever you guys are doing manually, right, those comes under functionality, and those will be considered as test case, use case. It can be anything, guys. It can be regression test case, it can be functional test case, it can be smoke, sanity, all will be covered under Selenium, you can say, automation tool. Okay, now the question arises, like which language would be the best one, right? So when I say, guys, language, because you must have heard, right, there are various language, right? I mean to say programming language, guys. There are various programming language which are available and which is easily integrated with Selenium, right? So can anyone tell me why we are preferring, like why everyone is preferring Java? Anybody? Yes, it's very I mean, you can obviously tell whatever you know, why we are preferring only Java, not other language. Why not Python? Why not like C sharp? Why we are preferring, the first preference is given to Java? Anybody?
It is platform independent.
Mm-hmm. Yes, perfect. So guys, whatever advantages you are aware about Selenium, like it is open source, it is multi platform, whatever advantage you are aware about Selenium, the same is applicable for Java as PL. Okay, PL as in programming language. So we have almost like all the advantages. Why we are preferring Java, obviously compared to, you can say, other PL, okay, other programming language. So whatever advantage you can think about, okay, because as you know, right, what are the advantage of Selenium? Because Selenium is obviously having multiple support, that is, it is open source, it is mostly like it can support multiple language, we can do the cross browser testing. Okay, so we will cover all those things. Okay, whatever you can think about the advantage of Selenium. Similarly, Java is having lot of programming language advantage, guys. Okay, it is easy to install, easy to have it on the any of the operating system, easy to integrate with any of the tools, guys. It is not only Selenium. Okay, if there are any other tools in future, let's say not future, current also, like for performance testing we are having a tool called Jmeter, right? So with the help of Jmeter is completely built on Java, right? So Java with Jmeter is more reliable and it is open source, and we will be easily, like, you can perform the performance testing for API as well as UI, okay, with the help of Java. So the Java has got a lot of advantage. That is the major, I would say, reason why we are following, or why we are trying to integrate Selenium with Java. Okay, so guys, there are a lot of advantage. Okay, I'm not covering all those advantage, like it is open source, it is multi platform independence, anybody can have the code comment, multi-line comment. All those advantage will be a part of programming language Java only. Okay, and we have a lot of, you can say, annotations, you can say support, which is obviously available over the internet. I hope you guys are aware, like whenever we get stuck in any of the syntax or anything, okay, you will get a lot of support via you can say internet. Okay, so that's a major reason why we are using Java. Okay, now coming to how this course, or how this course will be having. Okay, so first of all, let me just quickly you can say summarize how we are gonna go. So first we will completely dive into I would say the first step would be, we will be diving into manual testing. Okay, I know some of the like some of the folks might be aware obviously what is manual testing. Some are, let's say, I'll cover, because we need to have functional testing, very important. If we don't have the knowledge on functional testing, we should not switch to automation. Okay, first highest priority, I would say, manual testing, guys. Okay, so we will be diving into what is manual testing, guys. When I say manual testing, guys, please understand, whatever core concept you must be like you must have heard over the internet, you must have heard over like manual testing courses whenever you might have gone through those website. So like whatever, like equivalence partitioning, boundary value, then we have SDLC, what is verification validation, right? So what is V model, agile model, what is waterfall model. Okay, so all this will come under the concept of manual testing. Okay, so we will have a complete, I would say, a few topics under manual testing. I know some of people might get like, but I would request, please, you need to have little bit background on manual testing. Okay, so the first step would be this. Okay, once you are very you can say having 70 to 80% out of 100 for manual testing, then we'll jump into which is very important second part of the training, which will be mostly on Java, guys. Okay, so this is a programming language we will be covering. Okay, now obviously someone was asking, hey, what would be the syllabus, right? So guys, please remember, Java programming language would take almost like one, I would say, two-third of the training time be into Java, guys. Okay, so it will cover from basics of Java till core Java, guys. Okay, so I would say, at high level, just I want to highlight. We will be going with, let's say, if else, for loop, all those topics which we have, right? Then data types of collection framework, abstract class, use of collection framework, how we are gonna use those. Then we have Java stream, right? Then we have various other you can say try catch exceptions. All those topics will be covered in the Java programming language. Obviously the you can say the major focus will be on the OOPS concept, guys. Okay, so when I say OOPS concept, all the object oriented programming concepts such as polymorphism, abstraction, inheritance, encapsulations, inheritance, you can say interface, classes, objects, all will be covered with the on the Java programming language, in the Java programming language section. Okay, and I'm again repeating that almost like it will take around 20, 15 to 20, maximum 20 to 25 sessions, mostly purely will be on Java, guys. Okay, So this will be the I would say it will take little bit more time comparatively, because I want everyone to very, you can say, have good expertise and knowledge on Java programming language, guys. If you don't have Java, you can say you might obviously struggle in Selenium, guys. Okay, if you don't have Java expertise, obviously we will not be able to go on to the third stage. I mean, third stage of the training program. Okay, guys, please remember that the third stage is the I would say the last, wherein we will be how we can integrate whatever we have learned in manual testing, because obviously over there we have learned about, let's say, manual testing, right? Whatever functional testing we did, so how this can be integrated into our Java programming language, and how this tool called as Selenium will be using that particular script which we will be creating, and how we can run our you can say whatever script we will be creating, how we can run our script, so that whatever we have done the functional testing manually, it will be done with the help of this particular tool, guys. Okay, now most of the people are wondering, like, we are having a lot of topics in Selenium, guys. You must have gone through various you can say documentation or articles over the internet, wherein they were mentioning, like, let's say Selenium grade, Selenium RC, Selenium. So don't get confused, guys. We will be having Selenium version like greater than 4. Okay, like right now it is 4.8 specifically, and with the help of that particular you can say we will be covering we will be integrating Java in that particular Selenium, and obviously you will be having a lot of topics which will be covered under Selenium. I at high level just I want to focus on few of the topics. So those topics would be kind of, you can say, introduction to Selenium, Eclipse installations, then TestNG as a test next generation framework. Then we will be talking about all the locators which are present in Selenium. We will be talking about various methods which are present in WebDriver. We will be talking about various, you can say, different libraries which are supported, which will be done with the help of Maven. Then we have various, you can say, jar file introduction, such like Maven dependency files. We will be covering other topics such as Git, uh, as well as like Jenkins, Git for version control, Jenkins for CI/CD integrations, and if we have like a framework part, so we will be covering like various frameworks which will be based on BDD Cucumber, Page Object Model, hybrid frameworks. So those will be the framework, and I will share few of the framework which will be you can just download and start using that framework. Okay, and you can change as per your need, as per your like whatever changes you need to do, like code wise, or let's say folder structure wise, anything you can update, because that is an open source framework which will be available for, I mean, whoever wants to practice over that particular framework. Okay, other than that, guys, please remember that we will be covering only Java programming language. Okay, so you might be wondering, hey, I have some, you can say, project, let's say in Python or something, right? So in that case, guys, please remember that only the changes, or you can say whatever changes will be there, it will be only at the syntax level. Okay, there will be no major changes, guys. Okay, so I'll take a pause here. I want you guys to just ask some of the questions, guys. Anybody has any things to speak about, anything you want to share, guys? Please unmute and speak up, guys. Anyone?
I have a question, Vikas.
Go ahead.
What are you covering under Selenium? Are we going to have just theoretical path or we are learning through projects?
See, Khushbu, what we will do, we will have complete one, I mean, few end-to-end project. I already mentioned that we will be having framework, right? So when we will
Hmm.
be covering framework, only when all the topics which are related to that particular framework are covered, right? So what we will have, we will be using one of the editor. Okay, it can be either IntelliJ, it can be PyCharm, it can be Eclipse. Okay, mostly 70% or 80% most of the people are comfortable with Eclipse. Okay, I'll speak about Eclipse later on. Eclipse is an editor wherein we will be covering almost all the, you can say, practical oriented session, guys. Okay, when I say practical, we will create live programming, I would say live, you can say creations of classes .java file, and we will run with like we have various sample applications which are available over the internet. So guys, when I say sample applications, please remember, what are the so if I give you one example, so this is a sample, you can say page which is available, and you can perform a lot of testing on this page as well, right? So obviously we will be covering, you can say practical oriented project, I would say, but at the end we will have one complete framework. Okay, so the purpose of that complete framework would be to cover all the test scenarios, starting from sign up, registration, login, adding the product in the cart, doing a purchase, doing a checkout, doing a, you can say, updations of profile. All those test cases, test scenarios will be covered in that particular framework.
Okay.
Yeah, did I answer
One
your
more
question?
question, Vikas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
one more question.
please.
I am also working as a QA. I'm
Mm-hmm.
having 4 years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some problem where I got stuck while using. I just went through the beginner's course of Selenium.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using Python language mostly.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one Streamlit app which I wanted to automate through Selenium. But whenever I was trying it, it was giving that JavaScript is disabled. So any way out where we can enable that and use Selenium to automate that?
So basically, with JS executor, we have jar file which is available under Maven repository. So with the help of that particular jar file, you will have the, you can say, logic of removing that JavaScript error, whatever you will be, I mean, whatever you are getting right now. So with the help of that particular jar, by introducing that dependency into your current project, you can do that.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anyone else, any issues, any concern with the help? I know that you must be wondering about the syllabus, guys. So overall, at high level, I have just noted down the syllabus, guys. The syllabus would be something, I hope everyone can see the syllabus. So it will be kind of overview on automation and Selenium. Okay, why we are doing Selenium, why, what is manual testing, all those things we will be discussing in this particular session. Then we have like Java essentials for Selenium. Okay, guys, please understand, from module 2 itself we will be going with Java, right? So whatever coding, or you can say, if we don't have the coding background or anything, obviously we will start from scratch, guys, don't worry on that part. Okay, environment variable setup, Eclipse installation, Java installations, whatever is required for writing base programming, I mean base program, we will do all those setups. And after that we will start with all the concept you might have heard about, obviously, right? But we will start with all this topic. Okay, so that will be Java essential for Selenium. Then we will have Java oops concept, wherein we will talk about few of the object oriented concept, how we are implementing in our current, you can say, whatever program we will be practicing in that, how we are using this particular concept. Module 4 will be like kind of Selenium WebDriver, and please remember that last, I mean this year, this has been updated. So updated as in the version has got updated. So there are a lot of changes with respect to the Selenium, which is newly updated. So all those changes also we will cover with respect to XPath. There are several changes with respect to some of the methods which are present in WebDriver, so those got updated. Okay, and we will be talking about locator. detail because this is a vast topic and very very important topic. If you ask me which is the, I mean, very important topic from the Selenium automation point of view, the answer would be locators, guys. Okay, so we will be covering locators. And other than that, guys, these are all the, you can say, kind of you can say simple you can interview questions, or wherein we will see different commands which are available in Selenium under the driver interface. Okay, so this is and we will be covering how we can handle multiple tabs, multiple windows, multiple you can say incognito, if we need to handle how to clear your cookies, cache, all those things we will be having into this particular section. Captured screenshot, in case if the test case is getting failed, we will capture the screenshot, how to handle cookies. So all this will be covered under module 4. Okay, then we are introducing one very important framework, guys, that is TestNG. That is basically kind of, you can say, all the, we have two framework, guys. One is TestNG, a kind of, you can say, and second one is JUnit. Okay, so JUnit, it has been depreciated so far. Mostly people are preferring TestNG over to JUnit, so that's the reason we will consider TestNG. Okay, so test next generation. So we will be considering this. This is a kind of one plugin which is available in Eclipse. We need to install that particular plugin, and after that we will be able to use all the methods concept which is applicable and available in TestNG. Okay, so we will be covering almost like all the framework with integrated with TestNG, guys. Okay, so under TestNG we are having various methods and advantage. So we will try to cover all the topics which are present in TestNG. Okay, so these are high level topics which are present in TestNG. Then we will talk about reports, log4j, page object model. Okay, so which are nothing but a kind of additional informations. Like obviously when you run any test cases or any framework, right, at the end you need the reporting which should be accurate. We need to send those reportings to stakeholder and other people. So for that purpose we will have extend reports, and we will have log4j, that is nothing but for logging purpose, guys. Logging as in like extra information to the one who is using the framework. And then we will discuss the one of the major important framework, that is page object model. Okay, what is page factory, what is the difference between page object, page factory, all those things we will be discussing in this particular section. After that we are having Maven introduction, guys. Maven, how we are integrating with Selenium, why Maven is important, what are the various advantage, how we can add the dependency, how to create the Maven project. So all those will be discussed in this particular module, that is module 7. Like we have one more module. After that we have one more you can say Selenium grade. So module 8 will be kind of hybrid framework, guys. You must be like, obviously by the name itself it is suggesting that we are trying to have two or three kind of framework integrated together, and that particular framework will be considered under hybrid framework, guys. Okay, and that will be integrated with page object. Okay, we can integrate, all this will be discussed in this particular module, that is module 8. After that we are having Selenium grid. Okay, what is Selenium grid, how, see guys, it is not mandatory that every project will use Selenium grid, but at the concept level you should understand what is Selenium grid, how to set up the hub server, all those will be discussed in this particular module, that is Selenium grid. How we can have the cross browser testing. I hope you might have heard about such tools such as browser stack, sauce lab, right? So these are the tools which are allowing us to test a particular application in Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge at the same time. So that is what Selenium grid is all about, how we can run the same test case at the same time in all the browser with version specification as well. So that is module 9. The last module, which is about CI/CD, guys, which is I hope you might have heard about this, which is very, very important: Git, GitHub, and Jenkins. Okay, so wherein GitHub is version controlling, CI/CD is Jenkins, wherein we will have the you can say one-time activity. This is one-time activity, guys. Once you do this activity, after that you don't need to trigger the like running of the package every time. With the help of Jenkins dashboard, you will be able to run your whole project, but that depends whether it is required or not. Based on your selection, you can run or you can trigger your test case. So these are the total 10 modules which we will be covering from the, you can say, course oriented guys, wherein obviously it will, I might say it will take time, but it's again completely how you guys are understanding. If I'm going little fast or something, you can please interrupt me in between. But yes, we will make sure that all the topics which are listed over here are covered. And after that we will have few of the frameworks, by having that particular framework into the Eclipse, this thing, you will be able to have complete understanding, complete, you can say, how the folder structures are created, how, you can say, reports are getting generated, how we are running, you can say, taking the value from Excel. All those concepts will be, I mean, 100% cleared. You will be able to answer all the, I mean, whatever, you can say, automation related questions with respect to WebDriver, you can say, whatever methods we will be covering. So you will be able to answer all those questions. Okay, whenever you, let's say, if you are appearing for any of the automation interview in near future. But obviously how this, we will be discussing about the interviews questions as well. But yeah, this is the overall, I would say, syllabus which we will be covering in this particular training, guys. Let me go to the questions, if anybody has dropped the questions. So let me say, syllabus.
Vikas,
Yeah, go ahead.
one more question. Sorry, I didn't type it there, but my question is, are we going to do any real life project as well? Like in addition to the syllabus that you're talking about, are we going to do like a live project?
See, what we are gonna do is, like, we are gonna learn all this concept encapsulation, all this concept with the help of simple programs, right? But at the end, when we will have the framework, right? So there are various URL which are available over the internet, or which are obviously, which I know personally. Okay, so we will cover that particular web application. Okay, so that is something. For that you need to prepare the test cases, test scenarios, what all things you have automated. So those, that real time project we will have it. Okay, if you are asking, let's say, hey, can we have a project something similar to what is there in my, let's say, organization or something, the answer will be no, because I am already repeating that we will be using open source URL, guys. Okay, when I say open source URL, obviously many people will be using that particular application. Okay, so it can be e-commerce, it can be, mostly it will be e-commerce, I would say. Okay, wherein we will try to have a deep dive into almost all the test scenarios which we have. Okay, and we will automate. Obviously it will take, I would say, 4 to 5 days to complete that particular framework, right? And you will have complete in-depth knowledge how this particular activity which we did for 4 to 5 days, you can have it in your real-time project, in whichever project you are working. When we say how we can switch from manual to automation, right? So all those things will consider. So yes, I would say the answer is yes, but it will be open source URL, I'm repeating again.
Okay, but the challenges would be similar to what a real life project would have. We would simulate it through the free URLs, right?
Perfect. Perfect. The challenges and whatever, you can say, what you can say, uh, real-time project obviously have a lot of challenges with respect to, hey, I am stuck in this particular, the page is not loading, or let's say, the I'm trying to find the web element, but I'm not able to check that particular element. So all those challenges which we will be encountering in our this project obviously will be similar, and how to dealt with those challenges also we need to check it out, right? Whenever we get into those, you can say, situation, how we will tackle it, how we can write the code in better way. So all those we will discuss with that particular URL, open source URL. Okay. So Arjun has asked how many questions is there in manual testing? Is that okay? Okay. So Arjun, I would say manual testing. It would be I would say maximum 3 to 4 sessions will be on manual testing. After that, I'll start with Java. You can say coding language. Okay. So I would say 3 to 4 would be on manual testing. After that, we will straight away jump to Java. Obviously, if you didn't understood or anything, you are, let's say, having some issue, please drop a message over the WhatsApp window, and we can have a call connect over the Google Meet whenever you are available. Okay, as per your timing. And if someone required help, let's say, hey, I have did the setup, I am not able to do this, you can share your screen, show me the error, I'll obviously guide you with the process, what things you have done wrong. So any point of time you feel, let's say, I didn't understood this topic, please drop a message over the WhatsApp, or we will have a connect over there. Okay. And with respect to
One
course
question,
duration,
Vikas.
go ahead.
Are we covering 2-3 sessions in a day? How is it? Means what is the
Mhm.
duration per day we will be doing this class?
It will be 1 hour per day. Okay. See, I might have like let's say I might have said that the we will try to complete this course in, let's say, 30 hours, 45 hours, or whatever it is. Okay. So don't go with the timing, guys. It might happen that at some point we might stretch little bit, so this duration might get changed, guys. Okay. I would say 5 plus minus 10 session might, I would say plus only, not minus, plus 10 session, because obviously everyone has different, you can say, understanding, you can say speed, right? And based on their, you can say, doubts, questions, queries, we might have little bit more session, guys. Okay. So per day, one session, and it will be, I think, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST.
Probably 3 months course, right?
Probably 2.5, I would say, to be specific.
Okay. Okay.
Two, maximum 2.5, minimum, I would say max minimum 2. Okay.
Oh,
Depends on how, I mean, we are having the understanding. All depends on that. Mahavir has asked which application are we using for Selenium practice. So Mahavir, I just want to highlight that we don't have any specific application as of now. See, different topics, different application, right? If there is something with respect to, let's say, e-commerce, I might use some other application. If there is something which is specific to some of the forms, like input forms, right, I might use some other website. Okay, so we have various URLs already listed. Okay, wherein I can switch to the demo application, okay, as in when required. But yes, with respect to framework part, we might focus only on one single URL, and for that particular application we will have the complete framework setup and framework ready. Okay. Yes, Nilesh, Cucumber framework and Cucumber introduction is included in this particular course. We will have an introduction, as well as, I would say, spec file, what is spec file, feature file, step definition file, and obviously we will have, but because it is more or less similar to TestNG, so we will not put much effort on Cucumber. We will have the Cucumber, I would say. Akhil has asked, is API testing included in this course? Obviously, yes, Akhil. API testing, even Postman testing, Postman tool is also included, guys, because for making you to understand the functional testing, I just need to have the understanding on Postman level as well. Selenium grid, yes, we are having the Selenium grid as well. I already, I think, mentioned in the module discussion, we will be covering Selenium grid, but it will be just at high level, Nilesh, practical implementation little bit, and you will be able to run the project similar to browser stacks and source lab, how we are doing in that particular tools. Yes, anyone has any doubts, any questions, anything you want to highlight, suggest? And I'm repeating, guys, at any point of time, if you feel that I would be more than happy if you interrupt me in between for, let's say, I'm going a little fast, because the reason is like it is good to have two or more session. I mean more compared to like let's say going a little fast. So please drop a message over WhatsApp if you are not if you're not seeing here, you can drop a message, sir, can you please go a little slow or something. I would be more than happy. And obviously we'll go, if you want some topics to be repeated, for that also you can drop the you can say whatever doubts you have, right? With respect to setup and everything, if anybody has facing any issues, you can drop a screenshot. We can connect over this thing screen sharing session, and obviously we can set up those whatever issues you are stuck into. Okay, because whenever we jump from manual to automation, guys, please remember we will have a lot of, you can say, issues with respect to whenever we are executing the test cases. Okay, so you might face some, you can say, console related error, so you can share the screenshot over the WhatsApp whenever you stuck into those activities. Okay, but those will come into picture only when we are going with the framework topics. Okay, like whenever we are running the complete framework. uh,
Thank you, Vikash, for that all introduction. I want to clarify one thing.
Go ahead.
I also started as application tester. Currently, I got a project for Selenium with Java, but by side, I'm learning and going to start with the project. So, will I get the project support also? Like, in case if I have any doubt in my thing, so can I come to you like for
Depends on
in
you.
case fast forward?
Yeah, I understood your question. So let's say if it depends on you whether is it fine for you to share the, I mean, it's again completely on. We'll be happy to assist you, no worries on that part. Okay,
Okay.
but yes, the, I mean, whatever queries you should understand, ideally 99% you will understand through this course. If not, yes, you can drop a note or you can say screenshot at whatever issue you are stuck into. Okay, we'll be happy to assist you for that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, I hope everyone are clear. Anybody, anything you want to highlight, ask? Hmm. I
Hi,
think,
Vikas.
yeah, Sam, go ahead.
Do we require any SQL knowledge for this?
See, SQL knowledge is, I could say, it is required. I'm not saying it is not required, because we have Selenium with JDBC, this thing set up also, wherein you are trying to test or you can say validate your SQL queries, right? When we say
Okay.
full time, full end-to-end testing. So in that case, obviously, yes, whoever is doing database validation, database testing, for that basic SQL, I won't say advanced. So just at like joins, inner joins, outer join,
Very well. Yeah. Please
till
go
that
ahead.
level.
Okay.
So till that level, and with respect to, because when we are speaking about API testing, guys, remember, we will be doing API testing using, let's say, we have Postman automation also, right? So what is the purpose of SQL? Just to make sure the record has been created in DB or right. So we will trigger some basic Selenium script. Okay, sorry, basic SQL script to validate whether the record is created or not. The same thing needs to be done with Selenium as well. Okay, so once you are running your API automation framework, right, after that you need to check the database entry. So most of the time people usually check with manual effort, but yes, if someone wants to have the complete end-to-end automation, they can put assertion on SQL script output, and they can just make sure your test case got passed. So yes, I would say yes, it is required, but not, I would say 3 out of 5 is fine.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And coming to the manual testing part, so what I understood, like you are going to cover some basic stuff, 3 to 4 sessions on that. So the candidate who don't have knowledge into this manual testing or not into the testing area, so does
Mhm.
he need to go through any other documentation or
Yeah.
any kind of training, or those 3 sessions are is sufficient for this taking this course up?
I would say ideally those 3 to 4 session won't be sufficient, but in those
Okay,
3 to 4 session, I would try to give sufficient, you can say, learning content, learning material, as well as I would say 80% would be clear.
okay,
20% he might need to put an effort to make sure that he understood those concept and whatever manual testing artifacts, documentation, deliverables, those concepts should be clear to him, right? So 20% effort would be from his side,
okay.
right? In that way.
So based on these sessions, so we can understand by going through some self-study, and we can understand,
Perfect.
right? Get knowledge,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Sam. Thank you so much.